guys, welcome back to T-Bone Southern Ride presents the rocking, shocking October of Motos and Mayhem. Before I go any further, guys, stay tuned to the end of this video for a very special announcement. There's an announcement coming at the end of the 4-video Halloween Day dump, but I have a special announcement that you're only going to hear on this episode of T-Bone Southern Ride. So stay tuned to the end to see what the announcement is. But what a beautiful day, guys. As we're going down the road at half the speed we need, riding, of course, the blue moon. And you know why you're here, guys. You're right in the middle of a video dump. And you're right into the middle of the rocking, shocking October of Motos and Mayhem. And today's video, guys, if you're watching it, happy Halloween Eve. Then that means if you're watching this, you've watched all week and you have made it to Halloween Eve. And a movie that I keep near and dear to my heart, that I enjoy thoroughly and that I love so much. A great story that was originally written and told by a gentleman named Washington Irving. And of course, I'm talking about none other than the legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about there has been several B and C budget versions of the Headless Horseman made. Certainly there's a TV series called Sleepy Hollow. But today we're going to be talking about the 1999 movie Sleepy Hollow, which starred Johnny Depp as our hero Ichabod Crane and Christina Ricci as Katrina Van Tassel. And of course, if you have been watching and paying attention, then you now know that this is Tim Burton's second appearance in this series. And I'll tell you something, guys, when it comes to the legend of Sleepy Hollow, that cartoon, the cartoon of that has been around for as long as I've been alive or longer. And I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of the kid. Of course, now, if you're watching the animated version, you're usually watching it in a double feature called Ichabod and Mr. Toad. And of course, Mr. Toad is the other character that gets a lot of light shined on him. Of course, O.J. Thaddeus himself and his many, many manias, whether it's automobile mania or airplane mania or horse and cart mania. O.J. Thaddeus keeps Mr. Rat, Mr. Mole, and Angus McBadger on their toes. But of course, you watch the cartoon version, you watch it in a double feature, like I said, usually there, where we find Ichabod Crane, who is in the cartoon in the original story. Ichabod Crane is a school teacher whom shows up one day in Sleepy Hollow and decides he's going to be the school teacher. And of course, he falls for a certain lady, a lovely Miss Katrina Van Tassel, who decides that she will be playing Mr. Ichabod Crane against Brom Bones. Now, the cartoon version and the 1999 movie version, which I'm going to be discussing now, are totally unique to themselves. Of course, like I said, in the original story, Ichabod Crane is a school teacher. But in the Tim Burton film, 1999 Tim Burton film, Johnny Depp brings the character of Ichabod Crane to life, and he is a scientific detective working for the New York Police Department. And of course, they send Ichabod upstate to Sleepy Hollow where he ends up coming, I want to say, face to face with the Headless Horseman, but of course we all know that's not the case. We find out that our hero goes in with a very scientific ideal that there is a man of flesh and blood that's doing the murders, and he's not completely wrong in his assessment. He just decides to not pay not give no real credit to the killer involved, and that being the Headless Horseman himself. And of course, as with all live action movies, most of the time you get a good backstory. And of course, what we find out in this movie is that our Headless Horseman is a Hessian mercenary who fought in the war and who ends up going bankrupt from the neck up and loses his head when he comes across two young witches that are in the woods gathering firewood. And guys, I remember seeing this movie. I did not see this movie in 1999 when it first came out. Of course, I had heard about it and I knew that it existed. I knew it was out there, but I didn't actually see the movie until me and R1 watched it together when we were in Gatlinburg. Not quite a whole year later. So I was impressed with the movie when I very first seen it, and I immediately became a fan of the movie. And I actually thought it was probably one of Christina Ricci's best performances as Katrina Van Tassel, because, you know, up until then, Christina had been just in all kinds of different stuff. And in some of the stuff, of course, we got to watch her come into her own as Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family movie franchise. She was a part of that, playing Wednesday Addams. And by the time we got to Sleepy Hollow, she was really coming into her own as an actress. Sorry about that, guys. I've always said I don't think it's too interesting when you're watching a creator make content and put out an episode that, you know, stopping at a gas station is probably not the highlight of the video. But like I said, Christina Ricci came into her own in this movie. Of course, you know, she's one of those Hollywood flag bearers from that generation. And you know, Johnny Depp, of course, delivers another amazing performance for Tim Burton. The combination of Johnny Depp and Tim Burton has been happening for years. Literally all through the entire decade of the 1990s. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton have came together and made a lot of magical movies. Of course, you saw we had Beetlejuice in this series, another Tim Burton film. But a little piece of trivia. Let me ask you a question. What movie did Johnny Depp make his very first appearance in? What was Johnny Depp's very first movie appearance where he was introduced as an actor? I'm not talking about television, I'm talking about movies. Stay tuned to the end of this video, and right before I make my announcement, I'll give you the answer to that piece of trivia. But nonetheless, of course, this is another a big cast movie. Of course, Jeffrey Jones was in this one. And of course, you know, Beetlejuice, Jeffrey Jones played Lydia's dad. And he was also in Howard the Duck and Deadwood. And Jeffrey Jones is one of those guys that may not be the big actor that takes all the leading roles, but he is very well equipped to take over a scene anytime he's in one, and be very noticeable doing it. But we find that Ichabod has landed in Sleepy Hollow, and he starts trying to put together murders, and he starts trying to build a profile of the killer or whom he believes to be the killer. And like I said, he soon realizes that he's on the right path. He's just not including everything into the equation. And of course, we find out that the skull of the Headless Horseman has been taken from the grave, and using the skull and a little bit of magic, the Headless Horseman is being controlled. So in essence, he's doing killing for a human being of flesh and blood. But of course, you know, Johnny Depp delivers a great horror movie line, mystery line, when he says, after his first encounter with the Headless Horseman. Now, he had an encounter with Braun Bones dressed up as the Headless Horseman, but when he had his actual encounter with the Headless Horseman, he freaks out and he says, "You don't understand. It was a man with no head." And all the people of the Sleepy Hollow were like, "Yeah, that's, you know, that's what we were telling you. That's why we thought you were here." And he said, no, you don't understand. He had no head." And they're like, "Yeah, we get it. That's why you're here." But again, great acting, a great movie. And I'm a fan of Sleepy Hollow, guys. I'm a fan of that movie. And I'm also a fan of the original animated movie. Like I said, if you're watching the original animated movie, of course you're watching the double feature Ichabod and Mr. Toad. You know, one thing about Tim Burton's style, Tim Burton has a very dark and mysterious kind of a gray overtone to all of his stories and movies that he makes. And of course, you know, that's one of the things that's great about Tim Burton, is that he could make this list with just a whole arm long length of movies. But I wanted to give the Headless Horseman a play on here because, listen, the bang for my buck is you can't have Halloween and not have the Headless Horseman some way, somehow be interjected into the situation. Again, that's just, you know, that's my personal opinion. But and again, I want to address this too. You know, I could have very, very well went with the old flag-bearing Halloween movie standards, such as Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. But I really wanted to shake it up just a little bit. I wanted to bring to T-Bone Southern Ride maybe some movies that have been forgotten about, some maybe never even heard of, or some just watched and not watched for a long time. But again, I'm a movie buff, love movies, and I love when material reaches out and grabs you. And Sleepy Hollow is definitely one of those movies that can absolutely reach through and grab you. And the way everything was delivered. Now, of course, you have Christopher Walken, another great actor. Christopher Walken is actually playing the Hessian, the Headless Horseman, the Hessian mercenary, is actually being portrayed by Mr. Christopher Walken himself. And again, you know, once, not to give too much of the end away if you haven't never seen it, but he gets reunited with his head, and when he realizes who has been controlling him, or controlling at least his body and his horse, the old saying, "There's going to be hell to pay," definitely rings true in that situation. And of course, Christopher Walken over the years has been in movie after movie after movie after movie. One of those actors that can get used for just about anything, any type of movie, whether it's playing the Hessian, the Headless Horseman, or if he's playing a comedy role, like in the movie, the Adam Sandler movie Click. He kind of played a funnier role, or he kind of plays a mean protagonist, as in like he did with the Rock in the movie The Rundown. So Christopher Walken's another one of those actors who, you know, has been around. He's made movies with Tim Burton before, of course, talking about the Batman franchise that Tim Burton did. Christopher Walken played one of the lead evil guys in that franchise. So he's been around, he's cut his chops, he knows what he's doing. And you know, when you get together a group of actors and actresses like Tim Burton keeps around himself, you know, like I said a million times before, there's going to be magic made. But I guess that's about it, guys. Like I said, if you've made it this far in this video series, then you have made it to Halloween Eve. I want to say happy Halloween to you guys, and don't forget that Halloween Day, guys, we're going to be having a 4 video dump that day. 4 videos made by the same writer, director. He's going to own Halloween Day, and he's going to be the king of Halloween Day. So who do you think it's going to be? Will it be Tim Burton? Will Tim Burton come back? Will it be Wes Craven? Will it be John Carpenter? Will it be Stephen King? Who will it be? Who will Halloween Day belong to? On the rocking, shocking October of Motos and Mayhem. Now, the trivia answer for the piece of trivia. What movie did Johnny Depp become introduced in as an actor? You have to go all the way back to the mid-'80s and the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The original Wes Craven Nightmare on Elm Street, where you had Heather Langenkamp playing Nancy. Of course, Johnny Depp played her love interest. And of course, the one and only Freddy Krueger, who can only be played, you know, by, alright, guy, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, guys, this, the lady in front of me is driving this Jeep here, and I'm not sure what it is she's trying to do. Okay, but anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, you go all the way back there and you find Johnny Depp, and he also made a cameo spot in A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it was either part 4 or 5. He made a cameo appearance, or it may have been Freddy's Dead. And of course, you know, I was saying a minute ago, sorry, I remember what I was saying now. Yeah, you can only have one guy playing Freddy Krueger, and that's Robert Englund. Robert put his stamp all over that character, and I watched the remake, and I'm not going to trash the remake because I did watch it, and to an extent I did enjoy it. But Robert Englund is England. That's who Freddy Krueger is to me. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a Child's Play remake that came out. I think it was last year they remade, and I haven't even watched it because I did a little research and found out they completely changed up Chucky, changed the doll kind of a little bit. The doll don't look the same. And of course, now I hear that there is a TV series, Chucky and his antics are being brought to a television series. And you know, I don't know, you have to be careful when you have a franchise that was so popular, such as the Child's Play franchise, the Chucky franchise, Halloween, you know, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. anywhere down the list that you want to go to, once you really oversaturate the market with it, and you know, there's only so many times and so many ways that you could tell the same story, if that makes any sense as to what it is I'm trying to say. You can only tell that story so many times before people are like, well, okay, but there's nothing new being brought to the table, so what exactly is it that you're trying to prove here? Or are you just trying to squeeze every drop of blood out of the franchise that you can do? And you know, they're right to ask that question, because you know, a lot of times you oversaturate it and you make sequel after sequel after sequel until eventually it's like, okay, but you're not really telling a new story here. Really, all you're doing is just watering down the story you've already told. And I think with the Child's Play franchise, 1, 2, and 3 were great. You know, then you start getting into the Bride of Chucky, and then Chucky and his bride has a kid, and then you know, the last one that they made that I watched was the one where he was sent to the girl in the wheelchair at the house. And then there was another one made right after that where she was in an asylum, and it's like, you know, there's no mystery left. You kind of know when Chucky shows up, somebody's gonna get stabbed, slashed, and if you're going to keep introducing a character that way, and I can say this with the character of Jason Voorhees, like in you know, the Friday the 13th series, you know, you see Jason Voorhees kind of by the time you get to Jason Goes to Hell and then Jason X, you start getting to a watered down storyline, and you know, again, there's just nothing, there's no pop left, there's no mystery left. But anyway, I'm rambling on, sorry guys. But anyway, happy Halloween Eve, guys. Go check it out. 1999 Sleepy Hollow. Give the Headless Horseman a little bit of action on Halloween. That's when he wants it. And now for the announcement, guys. I have been busy shooting this content, making the Rocking Shocking October of Motos Mayhem. I've shot a ton of content, guys. Of course, you're seeing it this week in the video dump, a video every day, and of course 4 videos are coming Halloween Day. I started looking at other content creators, and I'm right where they are. I've been going hard with T-Bone Southern Ride since right before spring began. I started running hard, and I've been working hard to try to put a video out every week. And there's some weeks in the beginning I was putting out 2 videos, so I'm tired. Essentially, that's where I'm leading to with this this rant. Is I think it's time for T-Bone to take a break, take a little bit of a vacation from the Southern Ride, which don't mean I'm not going nowhere. It's vacation time, and for the time that I'm not putting out new videos, I'll do some throwback videos. There'll be content moving around, and of course you've got to pay attention to the Halloween Day T-Bone Southern Ride, where I drop 4 videos, because I have a major announcement about T-Bone Southern Ride coming at the end of the 4th video. But that's kind of the special announcement on this video, guys, is old T-Bone's getting tired. It's time to turn the cameras off and let them cool down a little bit, and kind of get out and under the stress of having to have videos for every week. So you know, you guys will know what's going on. T-Bone took a lot, and I could push on through, true enough, and shoot 3 or 4 episodes and give them to you on the time that I'm on vacation, but maybe we all need a little bit of break. from the Southern Ride. I mean, I still love what I'm doing. I still enjoy doing it, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break and relax a little bit, let my voice relax a little bit. I've actually got to break down and actually send the Blue Moon over to Appalachian Mountain Rides. I got to get Milkman working on a few things on it. So I've actually got a few things that I've got to get done. Of course, there will be a Veterans Day parade coming up, and I'll be shooting footage for that. So there's stuff going to be happening, but right now, T-Bone just needs to take a little bit of a vacation. And I know you guys understand that. And Halloween Eve, guys, here it is. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series, the Rocking, Shocking October of Motos and Mayhem. Remember to go all the way back to the beginning of October to watch them. Of course, I was putting out in the beginning, I put out a couple of just regular episodes of the Southern Ride, and then I went full bore on bringing you the Halloween content. So check it out, guys, and thank you guys. I say that a lot, but without you guys supporting me in this, there would be absolutely no reason for me to do this. But you guys are very supportive. You're always watching. You're always encouraging me. And you guys don't realize how much that means to me. And like I said, pay attention to that last video on Halloween Day, because there's going to be some changes coming. Going to be a little bit different on the Southern Ride. Not a big change to where you're not going to recognize it, but I'm going to be doing a few things a little bit different. But as we run through the chickens, guys, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it a day on this episode right here. Happy Halloween Eve. Remember to like, share, comment. If you're over on YouTube, remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And guys, until the next time, I am T-Bone, and this has been the Southern Ride.